everybody, it is I, your friendly neighborhood INFP, and welcome back to another installment of looking through the generalities of types, and today we are going to be looking at the ISFJ. Now, ISFJs are perhaps notoriously one of the most friendly MBTI types out there, simply due to their desire to help others. And of course, not only their desire to help others, but to stay in the background while doing so. They are very much one of those people who have the gifts of, or the love language of, not gifts, although they can, don't get me wrong, they can, but I believe it is called services. And they do have this tendency to enjoy serving others, to enjoy helping others, to enjoy bringing about a more positive atmosphere, and much like the INFP and other feelers, not a huge fan of conflict. Now, ISFJs, ISFP is a different video. ISFJs are also one of those types who they like to have things in a certain order. They like to have things in a certain routine, and they'll usually follow through that routine for a while until they are shown a better way that they can try. And if they like it, they will usually go through with it, or not only a better routine that they may try, but if they can be given a logical reason as to why it's better, they may adopt that form over their older ones that may have taken them longer, that may have been least inefficient, any order of things. Now, that being said, because of their enjoyment for routine and their eye for detail, so to speak, they also have this thing where if everything is the same, they're able to notice that. They are able to notice a slight variation or change. This is if they're not super stressful. I do not know how an ISFJ would act in high stress, to be perfectly honest, but I do know in normal general life, they will be able to tell whether, say, I moved this from this side over to this side, and they'd come into the room and they'll go, oh, you moved that to there, because they're so used to seeing it in one spot that as soon as it goes into another spot, they'd notice. Now, another thing about ISFJs is that they can relate more towards ISTJs as well, simply because of their dominant function, which is psi. And due to that function, a lot of people mistake psi to be past orientated, which isn't true. It's more like experience orientated. In comfort. So, like, it's both what have they experienced and what has become comfortable for them, which is why they then stick to a certain routine, because experience has taught them that this routine works, it's comfortable, and might as well keep doing it. Why fix something that's not broken? Both the ISTJ and ISFJ will share similarities in this. Now, another thing, although psi isn't necessarily quote-unquote memory related, ISFJs can remember a good number of details from the past, and bring it up to the present, especially via experiences, because most of what they do, they put into a kind of, I want to say, memory bank, in which they can go back into research and go, okay, yeah, I did this before. How did I do it again? I can't remember, but where did I go and look it up? Oh, I went and looked it up here. And they'll be able to find that process if they've, quote unquote, forgotten something, heaven forbid. Now, with that being said, ISFJs also enjoy small talk. They honestly enjoy talking to people, hearing about their day, hearing about what they're enjoying doing, hearing about their travels, hearing about... They typically enjoy small talk and hearing about people almost as much as they may enjoy hearing about gossip. Um, they are they are prone, I would say, to gossip type material because, in a sense, they find it fun. They're finding out more about other people, and this is something they enjoy doing, finding out more about other people. Like, sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but because of their general interest towards others, they may end up in a gossip circle. Now, on a bit of a more negative side, ISFJs can be passive aggressive to the style of perhaps a southern woman. What do I mean by that? Well, you know the saying, "Aw, bless your heart."
Bless his heart.
Yeah, like those clips. And as per those clips, it means you're being an idiot. But they're not coming out to say you're being an idiot, although some might certainly say it in a more sugar-coated ways. But it's usually a lot more subtle, and there's a different tone of voice, and it's just a little bit scathing, passive aggressive that people may not notice. And the ISFJs would love to keep it that way. And yes, I am calling you ISFJs out. I see you. And generally, they enjoy keeping the harmony, which is why they'll do this, even if they are upset with something. Going further from that is they do tend, more so than perhaps any other personality type, to be yes people, or yes man, or yes whatever.
Borrow a couple bucks.
Are we gonna fight or what?
Would you like to throw loose your bridal shower?
Has the same answer.
Yeah, sure. Why not? That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love that.
That is sweet, Carl.
Thanks, Fern.
Yeah, like the Jim Carrey movie Yes Man. Because of the previous idea of enjoying helping people. Not that to say that an ISFJ will always enjoy helping a person, it's just they usually find themselves helping them, if only because of a sense of guilt or a sense of duty. Speaking of a sense of duty, typically, and this is the part that I find fun about ISFJs, is even though they have a sense of duty and a sense of the law and the sense of society and where they are in the hierarchy and what kind of hierarchy exists around them and what their place is within everything, which, by the way, other types, including INFPs, do not care about, they will enjoy a certain sense of, shall I say, not so lawful behavior. In the sense of, if you smuggle them something, and it's something they enjoy, and it's something that's not really harmful, they'll find a kind of guilty pleasure in it. That's the word I'm looking for. They find a guilty pleasure in committing perhaps acts that may go against the law or go against the norm, because they're like, ooh, I'm being dangerous, I'm being bad, this is exciting, oh my. And I've witnessed this with many ISFJs, and the only thing that I can think of is that perhaps due to their inferior function Ne, they find this slight enjoyment of being slightly bad, because they're like, oh my, look what I did, he 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 he. Even though it's nothing terrible or out there. This can go from anything from subtly swiping things, usually from friends, family, whatever, and going, I didn't do it. Or especially if they know that their friend won't miss it, and later on they may tell them that they took it, or their friend may find out that they took it. Usually it's done in good fun, and if it's something that the ISFJ likes and knows that the friend likes, they won't perhaps do it, but then again, they might do it as a prank, if that makes sense. Or if their friend got something that they also wanted to get, they may get a little jealous and a little passive aggressive about, oh, you got that thing that I've been wanting for over a year. That's how nice of you. Bless your heart. Meanwhile, in their heads, they're probably going, I hate you so much right now. So much. And with that, they are able to keep that certain level of friendship without causing conflict. Meanwhile, they might be scathing a little bit on the inside. Now, on the flip side of that, the ISFJ, depending on the seriousness of the issue, will usually go, I believe, and ISFJs can correct me if I'm wrong, will go and talk to their friends or family about what they're feeling, why they're feeling it, or maybe they don't know why they're feeling it, but they will go and say, I'm upset with you because you did this. If that thing is like kind of small, the friend may be like, well, why are you upset with, like, what's the reasoning behind it? And then the ISFJ will have to talk it out loud before they're able to figure out why they don't like what happened, or why they're upset, or why something has caused them to act out that way. But generally, ISFJs are very sweet people, and they do have this certain sense of wanting to be a little bit of thrill seekers, a little bit of the bad boy, bad girl, while still maintaining a social hierarchy or a societal hierarchy. They don't want to get into perhaps too much trouble, but this, of course, depends, once again, where they've been raised in the whole scheme of things, because if they've been raised by bad people, they're probably going to be more towards that, even though they're still going to be more aligned to follow rather than lead. At the end of the day, ISFJs are typically people who enjoy being in the background to some level and not pushing attention on themselves, even though attention may be put on themselves. And they generally enjoy just being there for you, being your support, while also hearing about your day, while also hearing about the general gossip that's going on, and while also being a little bit bad. I see you. With that being said, that is the general outlook for ISFJs, and you can tell me what you think down below. Bye-bye.